So today we're going to be taking a look at a retirement calculator. Now we're actually going to be using M1 Finance's retirement calculator, which if you want to check them out, I'll have in the show notes down below for you. That link, it does help support me out to make more free content just like this. Now, if you're somebody wanting to get an idea of what retirement can look like for you, I'm going to plug in some numbers here. But again, that link in the show notes, you can jump to and check it out for yourself as well too. And if you're interested in M1 Finance, I will also have a link for them in the show notes down below, as it's actually what I love to use when it comes to investing for the future. So you can see over here, we have a couple of different points that we can go ahead and plug in here for us. Obviously, this is all just assumptions. You can see right over here. So, take this all with a grain of salt as we go through this. So I'm going to put in 35 as an age for this process. And then as far as retirement, let's say we want to have somebody retiring at the age of 67. Now, we first and foremost will put in the current valuation of our retirement savings. You could be at zero, and that's okay. And I'm glad that you're here to continue to learn and see what is potentially available for you. But for our example here today, let's say you're somebody at 35 years old that has $100,000 sitting in your account. Now, as you see, as we started plugging in the numbers, things started calculating over here for us already, even without anything else going on. And what this is telling us right now is saying, hey, by the time we hit retirement, this is what we should be ideally having. And then, where it's going to go by the time we might not be around anymore. So we want to still continue to do more, right? So let's say we want to be contributing monthly to this amount that we already have. Obviously, depending on the type of retirement account you have, like a Roth or a traditional, you might be limited, or you might have a 401k that you can put in a little bit more. But for example, here today, let's say you can put in an additional $250. You started seeing these numbers shift here for you as well. And it's going to ask you a monthly budget in retirement in today's money. How much do you want to be spending every single month? Considering you might not have some debts, you might have a house paid off. So like what you can be comfortably utilizing, let's say it's $5,000 a month. And then if you have other monthly retirement income that you can think of, maybe like a Social Security or other type of investments, let's just say in retirement, you're going to get $1,500 as well. So total, you're going to get $6,500 you want to be spending in today's money for the future, which is a really good thing to keep in mind as well too. So you can see here, saved at retirement is going to be $707,552. And this is what we need for retirement to be able to hit those goals that we have for the amount of money that we want to live off of, right? So it's pretty much letting us know we're going to be short $1.6 million. Yikes, right? So we want to kind of take it in consideration. All right, what do we want to do here? How do we want to, adjust these numbers, right? So the easiest thing we can do to adjust numbers is going to be our monthly contribution. So you saw we put in from 250 to 500, and you can see that jumped us up quite a bit, but we are still going to be shorthanded here for our total. Now, again, this is not going to hit our numbers over here. So we want to go ahead and consider maybe we need to take a little bit more of a cautionary spending month. So maybe we spend only $4,000 from here and other income will be $1,500, right? So again, we're lowering this and keeping in mind where we want to be. So from here, maybe we say, okay, let's go big. And if we put in $1,000 a month, where we're going to be at retirement, what's anticipated to need in retirement, and then our difference. So this is only going to be $250,000, which sounds like a lot, but at retirement, it looks like we're going to be much better suited than we were earlier. Now, this calculator does assume that you'll retire at 67. It does let you know here that the rate of return is 5% both for before and after retirement. So depending on your investment, it might be higher, it might be lower as far as your returns, and then that there is a 3% annual inflation rate, keeping in mind that inflation can be lower or it can be higher, just depending on that process. Now for here, we can actually go ahead and say, okay, maybe we need to retire at 70. And you can see here now our difference dropped under $10,000, but keeping everything else the same. So knowing that, hey, we got to maybe rethink, when we're putting our money in or how much we're putting in, or maybe the type of investments that we have as well. So that way we can hit closer to what we need and what we are able to live off of during that time in retirement. So like I mentioned earlier, I will have a link for this calculator in the show notes down below. You can go ahead, jump in here, plug in your numbers, maybe you're 5 years before this if you wanted to, and you're going to be in a much better position, or maybe a little bit older and maybe need to consider ways to improve how much we're putting in towards that retirement to make sure we hit our goals. So check out that link in the show notes down below. That will jump you to this page here for you to go ahead and get started and plug in these numbers. That link does help support us out at times to be able to continue to make more free content just like this. And if you're ready to go ahead and open up an M1 Finance account, we're actually going to get you covered here. We're going to show you a video on screen here so you can keep on learning more when it comes to utilizing M1 Finance and getting your retirement up and running.